Well, good morning, Facebook and all the world. David Art Day here. This is gonna be a fun show. Gonna be a lot of cheesy quotes and personal anecdotes. A picture of Yoda. We're gonna talk about try, do or do not, can or can't, and how important it is to just start. Wow, I had a great day in the studio yesterday. It was fantastic. I'm gonna if I can, I'm going to work it around. I forgot to load the photograph, but I created one of the most beautiful photographs on metal, I think, that I ever have. It's just stunning. So if I don't get it during the show, I'll post it in the comments. We're going to have some fun today. So I got to warn you, this show is going to be a little bit positive. I got a little bit of Pollyanna streak going on. I'm feeling better. I'm not sure the world's going to be better off, but I think I personally have begun to find a little bit more about how to deal with all this. Fortunately, I'm in a position where I can borrow some money. I'm going to borrow some money in my house and fix it up so I can sell it and move it. I need to talk to my niece Summer about some of that sort of stuff. So let's get started. Can or can't? You get to decide. You will not do anything that you decide you can't do. It will absolutely fail because you didn't even try. You didn't even give it a shot. This topic has been bubbling up inside of me for a week or so. We've talked a lot about fear and facing our fears. We've talked about how if you're not ever bad at anything, you'll never get any good at anything. So there's a step before any of those things. And that's when that moment when you're like, should I do this? I can't do this. Should I try this? At that moment is critical. Because if you say, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to start. I'm not going to begin that journey. Well, guess what? You failed. It has some advantages. It really does. If you just don't start, you never make any mistakes. You never fail. And you never suck. Because you didn't even start. You didn't even try. Think of that little choo-choo train that most of us heard from our parents. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And eventually that train goes over the top. But it began at the bottom of that hill. When the conductor, obviously that train has been amorphized, but when the conductor decided, I'm going to go up that hill in this little tiny train, he made a decision to try. He made a decision to go after it. He made a decision to do, not to not do. And Ziggy has got ahead of me. I'm going to quote Yoda. I'm going to show some pictures. I'm going to jump up here. So here we go. This is in honor of my friend Ziggy. Sure, it is a character, but Yoda said it very best. There is no do or do not. There is no try. You have to start. You have to begin. I do think there is try. Personally, I believe that we don't always fail, or we don't always begin. No, Ziggy, it's Bartender Day. It's May the 5th be with you. So, here you go. The philosopher, either Gandhi or Lao Tzu, depending on who you look at, said, watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, and they become your character. Because your character becomes your destiny. Watch your words. I can. I will. I'll try. I'll do. 900 years old that the little Yoda guy is. So, can or can't? It's really up to you. You get to make that first decision. No, you can't. I have some friends who honestly believe that they can manifest things like a Ferrari in the driveway. I'm not quite so sure that if you decide you're going to have a Ferrari, there's going to be a Ferrari. But most things, you will fail at everything you do not try. It seems really obvious, right? But it's a key, because so many of us, when we get to that point where we have to make a decision, we just go, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And then you don't know. You didn't apply for a job. You didn't ask that pretty girl out or that handsome man. You didn't go on a trip. You didn't tell something you loved them. You didn't open a door. Or maybe you didn't close one. Those are also decisions. You've got to give it a try. Yes, happy Cinco de Mayo. So, the toughest and most important decisions you're going to make is the first one. Will I try? Will I start? Will I begin? Will I take the first step of the journey? It is so important because if you don't try, you won't fail. It's an easy way out. It's the coward's way out. But if you try and fail, you'll learn something, so it's really not a failure. If you do, you will figure out a way to get it done. It's kind of that simple. Almost everything you have truly decided to do, you have done. But you have had to decide to do it. I'm ranting a bit, aren't I? So, you are smart enough. You are strong enough. You have the will to do it, but you have to start. Or, sometimes you have to decide to stop. And that's also important. If you simply say no, you lose. It doesn't happen. Of course, if you can't fail, you can't fail if you don't try. There is a beauty in not trying because it's the perfect solution. You never, ever screw up. You never, ever have an embarrassing moment. You never, ever have a show that crashes in the middle or it turns into a giggle fest. But if you don't try, if you don't do, if you don't begin, you surely will fail. I want to talk about one of my favorite stories. Jim Carrey grew up in a steel town in Canada. He would have probably ended up being a steel worker, but he wrote himself a $10 million check. He took this check and he put it in his wallet in 1985, and it said $10 million to Jim Carrey, dated, he wrote the check in 1985, and he dated it 1995, a mere 10 years, a decade. Does anybody want to guess what the fee for Dumb and Dumber was, which started in 1995? Anybody guess? Yep. Jim Carrey was paid $10 million. He believed in himself. He tried. He stepped forward. He took all those stupid movies. Basically all of his movies are stupid. But he did it. He made a decision to move out of that cold northern Canadian town, move to Hollywood, and try and do what he was good at. And with that rubbery face, he was fantastic. There's one more thing I want to talk about. There's a Nike commercial. I couldn't figure out a way to play the Nike commercial, so we're just going to do this, and I'm going to read it to you. And maybe I am not going to read it for you. Here we go. This is the famous Michael Jordan, the amazing basketball player. I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. 26 times I was trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over, again and again in my life. But that is why I succeed. So today, I want you to go out. I want you to try. I want you to do. Please, please do. Thank you. Sorry for the rant. I thought this was going to be a little lighter. But it's really important in these tough times to get out and get stuff done. Maybe not get out. Stay in and get stuff done. Do what you need to do. Make the tough decisions. Do. Because you tried. David or Day. Yeah, it's a short one today. Guess that's not so bad. I'll be back tomorrow. Who knows what I'll talk about? And I'll put that photograph of the print I made yesterday in the comments. As always, I appreciate you all. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment list. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Give it a try.